Never, ever believe anybody who says that they love you, when they show you at every opportunity that they only love themselves. Those people, especially if they're close family, are the worst, most toxic, evil narcissists alive. Whenever they can't figure life out, or if they're a failure in anything because of a lack of their own character, ability, intelligence, ambition, and or whenever their selfish needs are not met, they'll turn on you and blame you vehemently and with such disrespectful and violent contempt that it will literally make your jaw drop. They host such a deep hate for you and blame you for their own faults and choices, as you're an easy target because of the unconditional love you show them. A love that they feel that you owe them without reciprocation. It's even worse if you've made any mistakes in your life, whether you were the reason for the mistake or if it was outside of your control. Their narrative of the past is not to be challenged, regardless of if it's true or not. Even more aggravating is the fact that regardless of if you have turned everything around in your life, whether it be going from a junkie on the edge of death to a recovering and positively functioning human being who's truly just now beginning to feel again, they will still slyly and secretly really hate you to the point of sabotaging your life. Same thing applies if there was any long period of time where you were separated. Even if the time you have most recently been actively spending with them is substantially longer than the time you were initially apart from each other, in the first place. So what the fuck kind of shit is that? Even when it's obvious that you're feeling happy and exuding a humble humility with a sense of purpose, because it has reconnected within you the familiarity you once had with wholesome values and beliefs, but regardless of if the past was full of more need than wants, mainly because during that time you were dirt poor because of whatever circumstances, but have now successfully flipped that all around and are now way better than just well off, these types will have the audacity to treat you as if you've accomplished nothing. They'll give you zero indication that you or anything you have done to improve or even just rescue yourself from utter destruction even matters, let alone that it's worth anything to them at all. Everything is geared and conducted for their convenience and gain and not intended to be the truth nor meant to benefit anybody but them. All that matters to such a person is their own person. They do not love you, they only love that you love them. Oh, and you had better keep acting in that way because you owe them that regardless of if they're wrong for telling fake stories about you, or using some falsely concocted story with you as the monster, just to gain sympathy from some other person that they're planning on exploiting. This is usually the first step in the weaving of their web of lies and the emotional booby traps they set for you to fall for hook, line, and sinker. They then shamelessly use those premeditated traps to fuel and foster their gaslit brainwashing campaign. These types of people are usually created by one or more of the most influential personalities in their lives, like the person, or people, that they find it's easiest in identifying with and or an easily identifiable authoritative parent, a mentor-like type of figure, like an older sibling and or sibling-like type of peer. For example, when one parent uses their own children as a weapon against the other parent, and or lies viciously to cover or mask the fact that the so-called shitty life that the child is experiencing wouldn't be so shitty if the other parent didn't do, or did do, this or that. Whatever takes the spotlight off of their own lazy, neglectful, ambitionless, entitled, selfish, self-absorbed, non-goal-having, hateful, and baseless role of playing the victim at every possible turn so not to expose that they and or their actions, or the lack thereof is to blame for all of the bullshit. People everywhere are like this. They are weak and usually unintelligent emotionally and intellectually. Their perceived intelligence only consisting of a regurgitation of fake news, facts, extreme political rhetoric, and inaccurate popular opinion, and wildly incorrect and meritless fallacies not based on, in, or of reality, facts, actual greater experience, and or scientifically proven truths. Anyways, good luck with all of that. Not any of those beginner moves are very becoming tears of joy. My actions and speech have always been deeply rooted in, and reflective of, the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Yet whenever my actions or speech has proven to be not so deeply rooted in truth, I can easily admit it is always of my own doing. Only I'm to blame, as I was the one being lazy when blindly trusting another person's words when I should have known better and exercised due diligence. My bad, but if you think I will cave or cater to, or even better, enable you, or anybody for that matter, to continue to spew vile, poisonous, hurtful, dishonest, unfounded name-calling and or any public trashing of my good character, you will lose that battle every fucking time. Once you cross a certain level or line when being disrespectful for no good reason, especially when it's done in a manner that is insanely uncalled for and way out of pocket, like publicly announcing fake blatant lies about me and embarrassingly putting me on blast in front of complete strangers, in an attempt to harm my heart, or meant to cause my soul to feel deep pain in a ruthlessly tortuous manner, and for absolutely no reason that would ever prove you had the justification to treat me with such violently hateful and demonically monstrous loathing and lambasting ire. Please just stay away from me, you know, like you do anyways, because at this point I won't, and don't, care to figure you out. Stay the fuck away from me until you can see, admit, and not apologize for, but ask for forgiveness for how you treated me. Yes, I said ask for forgiveness because your actions were of savagely biblical proportions, you psychotic, narcissistic, sociopathic jerk. Would you rather beg for forgiveness? No, so, shish. Go ahead, please disown me for no reason other than to help you cope with and publicly mask your materialistic, vain, selfish, greedy, lazy, instant gratification bent, sinful, and evil ways. Even though you will never admit it. Even if it's abundantly clear to most, that your actions in attacking me, and others in this way, is more than obviously apparent that you're inadvertently shitting on yourself in every sense of the matter here. I'm so over it and know for a fact that I do not deserve the levels of, behind the back, shit-talking you freely entertain, nor will I stand for, let alone feel like, anything I do or have done deserves to be treated with such blatantly deplorable disrespect and or vulgar and verbally abusive treatment whatsoever. Good thing such extreme and abhorrent behavior has its own positive take worth mentioning. Thankfully it has helped me reinforce my knowledge of self and in turn sheds light on which pathways will lead me away from people like you that I must continue to avoid at all costs. So in conclusion, I'll say goodbye Fleecias, and have fun wallowing in the fact that you are, and have always been, your own worst enemy. Thankfully it has helped. So in conclusion, I'll say goodbye Fleecias, and have fun wallowing in the fact that you are, and have always been, your own worst enemy. Not me.